from a lovely, well, I wouldn't say sunny Cairnlea in the northwestern suburbs of Melbourne, but it's certainly a lot nicer than it was yesterday. We have plenty of blue sky, not too much wind, and we're looking forward to a fantastic final today for the Australian GC Open. I'm Gareth Denyer, and I'm joined in the commentary booth by Kate Patrick. Good morning, Kate.
Good morning, Gareth. Yes, very much looking forward to today's play. Perhaps before we get into that, we should just recap what happened yesterday.
Yes, well, we had a brilliant day's play yesterday. The Gary Phipps from Western Australia and Robert Fletcher from Victoria winning their way through to the final, and we'll be covering that final at 9 o'clock this morning. Before that happens, we'll be going over to the game between Alison Sharp and Owen Hargreaves. They're playing in which particular
Owen
section
Dickinson.
are they playing in?
Owen Dickinson. They're playing off for fifth place.
And they're playing off for fifth place. Perhaps you could tell us which other games are playing today, Kate.
There's just the one. There's a playoff for ninth place between Peter Freer and Richard Parkes. But yesterday we had the playoff for third between Barry Jennings from Hyde Park, who you remember defeated Alison Sharp very surprisingly. She was ranked top she's ranked top in the whole event, and he beat Brett McHardy into third place, 7-6, 4-7, 7-4, so 2 games to 1. And in the plate final, there were 2 women contesting, which was good. This is predominantly a women's sport, though the women aren't well represented in the finals at the moment. But Mary McMahon from Southport in Queensland beat Pamela Barnwell from Newcastle in New South Wales 2 games to 0, 7-6, 7-5. So good to see them playing off. That wasn't a game we broadcast, but it was excellent to see 2 women coming out on the top of the plate, where they essentially played everyone left standing after the selection of the people to go forward into the knockout.
Yeah. So the final today is a best of 5. That means that, of course, that the player that wins 3 games will be triumphant. The game that we're going to start looking at first between Alison and Owen, that's a best of 3, and as Kate said, that's a playoff for 5th place, and that's happening on lawn 2. You can see there the flags fluttering in the breeze. It's not too bad. Cairnlea is very, very windy normally, and that causes a great deal of trouble for the players. But the players now hopefully coming out onto lawn 2 for us to pan over, and I think they probably had their warm up, but they're entitled to 5 minutes before the start of a game. Do you like to take that 5 minutes, Kate, or do you just like to get on with things?
I always take the 5 minutes. Yes. Helps you to settle yourself, go around, do your routine. You have a different routine for when you've got 5 minutes, when you have a general warm-up that could last 20 minutes. The general warm-up you might be hitting around the lawn, but I think people on the whole have a specific routine for checking out what the speed of the lawn is. They do their run across to hoop 1 from corner 4. They start in corner 4 and they go across to hoop 1. Just see how that's running right now this morning. So they have a routine and they follow that through, and if they get flustered and don't do it, I don't think it does them any good at all.
No, that's right. Now we're getting a lovely view of the Croquet Centre here at Cairnlea. 12 magnificent lawns, an incredible purpose-built complex for hosting croquet events, and having all of these lawns, of course, means that you can have maybe like 100 players in a tournament at any one given time. It really is quite amazing. So here's Alison Sharp gathering the balls, getting ready to tee off. Now, for those of you joining us for the first time in this game, the players play with either the blue and the black balls, and their opponent in that case would be playing with the red and yellow balls, and the balls are always played in order: blue, red, black, yellow. So when they were tossing off then, the uh, uh, the winner of the toss, they get to play the blue and the black balls, and the opponent plays the red and the yellow balls. So you can see there that Alison is now putting some clips onto her puffer jacket, and that means that she's going to be playing the red and yellow balls. So Owen must have won the toss,
which is a marginal advantage to Owen, because it means that he starts the blue ball, or the blue ball always starts the first game. If the blue ball loses the first game, then either the opponent can start with either the red or the yellow in the second game in a best of 3, best of 5. But Owen necessarily starts. So they are saying good game, good game. It's very traditional at the start. There, where's this little greeting?
Well, you always wish your opponent luck, but it is often said through gritted teeth, of course. So Owen playing the first ball, aiming to get in front of hoop number 1. That's the hoop that we can see there with the blue top. And you'll remember that they need to fire their balls through that hoop from right to left, as we're looking at it on the screen. So Owen put his ball in quite long. Alison's gone even longer. Alison likes to do this. This is part of her short side strategy. And that's because, well, as we'll see in a moment, it allows her to hit her opposition's balls out into the wider area of the lawn whilst keeping her ball around the hoop. So in she comes again, and again coming quite long. So that black ball, of course, Kate, is in a hoop running position, but the key thing is to ask, will it still be there when its turn comes?
Yes, and blue, like red and yellow, was in a defensive position on the short side of the hoop, but now I think he's choosing to block, put in a block so that it's more difficult for red to hit black away. Probably also already a little bit difficult because of yellow.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, so Alison needs to get rid of the black or to stop the black from having a shot at the hoop. So she's tried to block it, and I think she's done pretty well.
That does look like
that looks like it's blocked black's passage to the hoop. So Alison couldn't clear the black there, but she could have an attempt at blocking. Owen now looking.
Would have the option of jumping it, but he probably will clear it, because yellow will clear blue if he doesn't.
He's taking a bit of a swing. No, he's going to jump it. There we go. So he's going to jump over the red and go through the hoop, or not go through the hoop, as
bounced off the hoop.
Yeah.
Which leaves red in a good position, because yellow, which plays next, can clear blue.
That's
and has failed to
you
clear
don't
blue.
See that often. My goodness,
The
Alison
excitement of the moment.
missing a 2-metre shot there.
So now Owen
Incredible.
again has the option, go for the hoop or clear the red ball. Looks as if he's going to clear the red ball, and he's
and
he's
he goes
gone
through
the hoop
as well. So 1-0 to Owen. But what an amazing an amazing passage of play there, because it's extremely rare for Alison, the Australian number 3, to miss things from 10 metres away, and to see her miss that one from just a couple of metres away was really very surprising. But Owen then played beautifully. His aim was to clear the red, but he actually went through the hoop. Actually, that worked out reasonably well for Alison, because it meant that the red ball was already halfway up the lawn to hoop 2.
And she's now got position near hoop 2. We can't quite see whether she could run.
No, she's not in hoop running position there. So she's off to the side. Don't think. And Owen is slightly hampered here. This is a more difficult shot because of the hoop in the way, but he does a great job of trundling the blue ball up.
Now not visible to red, but which goes next. Red to clear black. How far back is black, do you think?
So Alison having a look at the possibility of putting the ball in the jaws, but I think, as Kate said, she might err on the side of taking the black out, although she wouldn't be able to do that with much control, so I think she's going to put it in the jaws. That hoop looks slightly wonky, Kate. And she scuttles across the front, and that, of course, now leaves the hoop open for Owen to take a shot at it. So, a couple of uncharacteristic shots from Alison at the beginning of this game, and Owen surely going to have a go at this.
Here's Owen with all his clips on the back of his shirt, so we can count up how many hoops he has yet to get. And he's come off.
Doesn't make that.
So now there's yellow. Yellow will presumably go for blue. And she's done it. And I think she might have put blue across at such an angle that it's very difficult for it to see red. Alison's going to bring her ball in before the next ball is played. It's always very polite to do that. Now, watching Owen has this habit of grounding his mallet after every shot. Let's see if he does it this time.
Yep.
So he's gone into a jumping position.
Again, Alison with a look at the hoop to see if she can do something with the jaws, but instead opting just to clear the blue and stay around the hoop.
And I think that was because we have both the black at the back, which could knock her out, and also the blue in a jumping position, which could go over her, and she knows Owen is someone who can jump because he's just done it.
Now Owen there taking an interesting line, putting the black in front of the hoop, and Alison actually just improving his position and unfortunately blocking the passage of the red to the black. But I don't think the red will be there for much longer anyway, because Owen fancies his chances of clearing it with the blue. It's only a shot. It's only a shot of about 8 meters or so. So Owen would be.
But will he bother?
Depends, I suppose, whether or not that. He's not going to bother. He's just putting that behind it to make things a bit tricky, I suppose. I'm not sure. So, can Alison extricate that black, or can she jump over things? Can she knock the yellow into the black? She can.
She can knock the yellow into the black. Black went into the hoop, bounced out again, still has a clear shot. So one of the wonderful things about this game is it does ebb and flow, and you can have somebody, as Owen is, he's now 2 up. He's advancing towards the 7 he needs to win this game, and Alison has still got no hoops, but that can turn around very quickly.
She goes very short this time. That's unusual. That's if anything, Alison likes to play on the short side, but when you're playing the first ball in, you're really trying to get the ball in front of the hoop, and she's come up quite short there, so she'll be a bit disappointed with that. And Owen, in contrast, goes to where Alison probably meant to go, which is in front of the hoop and slightly past it. Alison follows that up with a shot which has gone the right distance, but is perhaps a bit too close horizontally. And Owen now, interesting, he doesn't really have to worry about Alison taking a shot at the hoop. He maybe just try and stop the yellow from hitting the blue, but that would have been a tall ask. So Alison now obviously has to stop the blue from shooting at the hoop, which she does.
Though she's wandered off further away than he did.
Yeah.
She's not settled, is she?
She isn't settled. This is, both at hoop 1 with the big miss and hoop 2 with the sort of skidding past the jaws of the hoop. And then an uncharacteristically poorly paced shot towards hoop 3. This is really not the Alison that we know. Perhaps he's just looking forward to coming into the commentary booth after the game.
That will be very good.
So, Owen
red
plays
is quite hampered from hitting.
Yeah.
I think it is. It's
yeah, that's a
never
very
bit
good shot from
difficult
Owen,
to
isn't
see,
it?
but it looks as if
It's a very, very good shot from Owen, because it's very difficult now for Alison to hit the blue, because she would commit a foul by hitting the red, and instead she's scuttled, played I guess a reasonably poor percentage shot across there. So all Owen has to do now is protect the blue from the yellow, wherever that is. I think it's over on the other side, which he hasn't done. He's just chosen to get the red further and further away. Do you think he's planning on some sort of...
How would he do that?
Why would he have done that, Kate? What was the...
I really don't know.
And Alison misses a 7-yarder, which is, again, very unusual. Now, this means that the hoop is now open to Owen to either hit this quite hard through the hoop and down to hoop 4, or he might just go for the jaws. He might just seek to put this in the jaws of the hoop. Let's see what he does. No.
Neither.
Neither, and he's a bit disappointed with that. But
he's a bit
he
close
takes
to
a
the
3-0 lead. And that he'll be pleased about being 3-0 up against the Australian number 3, but he will be a bit disappointed. I'm be interested to chat to him afterwards about why he hit the red ball so far away, because the red ball is going to be the first ball that comes in.
Yes, so we might want to watch that later and remind him about that moment. We might want to watch that little shot later and remind him about that moment and say, what were you thinking there? So put it on your list.
All right, so Alison has brought the red ball in. And maybe the thing what the put the red so far into the corner was that he knew that red would be the first ball. But then it was strange, because he couldn't have bargained on Alison missing a 7-yarder from the eastern boundary. So yeah, a very good talking point there. Again, Alison not really threatening the hoop, and that gives Owen a good chance to put the blue ball where he likes it. Interesting situation. All the balls around the hoop, and there'll be a little bit of cat and mouse. So Alison hiding from the black ball there. You can see the hoop is between the black ball and the red ball, so that makes it impossible for Owen to clear that. And of course, as soon as he puts his black ball in a position where it's visible to Alison's balls, it could be cleared. At the moment, the blue ball is the only ball with a shot on the hoop, so Alison must do something about that, because the blue ball will be the next to play after the yellow, so the blue has to go away, and it does. But the position in front of the hoop is quite ragged still. Always interesting to see how these positions resolve. I think this is the great dilemma for most club players, how to engineer this situation to get an advantage when the balls are sort of reasonably evenly spaced all around the front of the hoop and to the sides. Now, in choosing to just put a blue ball absolutely in front of the hoop, you can see how threatening that is. Really looks like a ball that will have to be removed. The yellow ball at the moment can't see it, but it's unlikely that the black will stay where it is. Alison, I think, will probably take the blue out here. Having to think about it.
From what you were saying, she looked as if she was going to take blue, which has a much better chance of running the hoop.
And she does.
But black is next, so black can go.
Black will have now. Black now has a chance to score or get into the jaws of the hoop. So Owen has engineered that very nicely by putting the blue in front of the hoop forcing Alison to clear it, and now gets his reward with a little tickle at the hoop, which hasn't come off very well. It's always quite inconvenient when your ball ends up on the leg of the hoop like that. Alison realising that the blue will play after this and therefore will be in a position where the red could be cleared. Let's see what Owen does with his blue ball, which you'll remember is in the corner. There it is. Very low down grip he has. Trying to do something,
yellow.
Get that yellow away. But it really, playing at that pace, he would have only, the best he could have done at that pace is to have moved the yellow
in front of the hoop.
in front of the hoop. So that was an odd choice. I think these players are playing at a depth which is a few moves ahead of us mere commentators. So Owen needs to put something that will stop Alison from having an easy go at this hoop. It's certainly not an easy hoop. So probably the best she can do is get it in the jaws, and she's put it against the leg as well.
Against the other leg. Yes.
So players a little bit rusty this morning. It has come away from the leg of the hoop, so it's not jammed up against the wire, and that's a significant advantage for Alison. If it was against the wire, that would be very inconvenient for her. Owen looking to smash it away, and does so beautifully. Really, really precise shot. There would have been a danger perhaps of putting the yellow ball through. He wasn't worried about that at all. Took it on with great gusto. Alison will be looking to take some of those yellow clips off her puffer jacket soon. At the moment she hasn't had any opportunity to do so. Oh, and she's skewed another one. That's another sort of 3-meter shot that she has missed. I wish she'd play like this when she plays against me, Kate.
I think it's one of those moments when you really think, yes, anyone can make an error.
Yeah.
Alison is normally such a reliable and skillful player. It's not like her to do this.
And Owen pinging off the
and he's not
left
happy
upright.
with that. No. So his ball's not gone too far away. Yellow has got the option of taking position, or I guess going in a defensive position, and she's opted for a defensive position on the basis, I suppose, that black is really quite close enough to clear her and will play before her.
Yeah, so we might see the blue ball coming into a hoop running position here. No, he just plays cat and mouse.
Hiding from yellow.
Hiding from the yellow. But as you say, Kate, it's possible that if the black decided to clear the yellow, then the yellow wouldn't be there anymore. See what
yellow,
Alison does.
however, is not probably in a position where he would want to clear it, because it's
Alison playing even more defensively.
Oh dear.
This is very interesting stuff.
We didn't find out yesterday. There was a moment in the game we were watching yesterday where the referee came on, and we wondered whether it was an impasse.
Yeah, that's right. We should try and find out about that, shouldn't we? Yeah.
Because it looked as if they were, neither of them actually trying for the hoop.
Yeah.
They were just
now the action here is to clear
jockeying around, taking position. Now she's cleared something.
Now we're getting a bit of space.
Yeah, she'll feel better having done that.
So you can see yellow now reasonably nicely placed in front of the hoop, quite a long way away. Certainly the black is further away.
So blocking yellow.
No, I think coming over to a defensive position. Oh no, he's now deciding to go back up the lawn a little bit. No, a lot of thought going into this. These players having a really good tactical battle around here.
Yes,
so yes, blocking the yellow from a hoop running shot, although that's a very difficult hoop running shot, of course. It's long and at an angle. But now the crucial thing is what Alison does with this red. And she chooses to clear the blue. So maybe she is thinking that her yellow is a running ball.
Maybe she's
See
thinking it's time she got a hoop and she doesn't want to leave anyone there.
See whether Owen thinks it's a running ball. If he thinks the yellow is a threatening running ball, he'll be clearing it.
Or blocking it.
And he puts it. Is that a blocking position?
No.
I don't think that is going to.
No, that's just
block.
a running position.
See where the yellow is.
No.
It's certainly a good position because it would be on the spot to take advantage of any slip up by Alison trying to run the hoop, but so Alison recognises that and clears it away. But that immediately, of course, reduces her presence in front of the hoop and allows the blue ball to come in and assume that sort of dominant place. Probably wired from the yellow. I'm not quite sure where the red is. I think it's on the eastern boundary.
You would think she...
Oh, he's overhit that a little bit. You could tell by the way that he was riding like a jockey on his mallet there, that he wanted to stop the ball from having so much pace. It's always difficult early in the morning here at Cairnlea. They do a wonderful job of keeping the grass nice and short. Sometimes there's a lot of dew on the lawns. Sometimes that dew evaporates quite quickly.
There was a lot of rain as well, wasn't there, last night?
Was there some rain? Well, that actually ironically, that does actually get rid of the dew. So,
but it makes the lawn slower. So that's another defensive position. Not quite hidden from blue, I think.
No, not hidden from the blue.
But he wouldn't want to hit it away because it would just take him away from the hoop and behind the hoop. So he's not in position.
So after quite a few rotations on this hoop 4, we've reached the stage where Owen is the one with the balls in front of the hoop. And the black nicely wired from the yellow there. So it does mean that if Alison gets rid of the blue, then I suppose that's what she has to do, isn't it? Yep. And she does, and puts it beautifully so that it's actually now not able to see the red, I think.
Yep.
So that means that Owen can't clear the red, which means that the red will be able to clear the black. So some great tactics here.
And did you
really,
see the
really
referee?
interesting.
The referees, there are 2 referees on this game at the moment. In their yellow jackets, the referee picked up the ball and placed it on the line. So that's a kind of independent positioning, because the position in this case really important. And
I think there was a bit of turn there. You can see it's like almost had bias on the ball there, didn't it? It really curved off.
The lawn took it.
So Alison keeping her red ball on the axis between 3 and 4, sending Owen's ball off to the boundary. But Owen doesn't really need to think too much about this. He knows that he's just going to bring his black ball into a reasonably threatening position.
Turned again, just turned away from the line.
At some stage, someone's going to have to take a shot at this hoop. This could be the moment. And it was, and it hasn't come off. And I think Owen might fancy his chances here of clearing the yellow and possibly stopping in front of the hoop. Maybe getting a little bit of that wire and leaving the blue plumb in front of the hoop. That would be how I'd be visualizing it in my mind.
And look what's happened.
And that
so
looks
he's
quite
very
good.
well positioned.
And as a referee, Kate, you'd be looking at that thinking, is the blue touching the wire? Because that would actually be quite bad for Owen, because it would mean that it would be difficult for him to make the hoop without playing a crush shot.
It depends how much of the curve of the ball is behind the wire. It looks to me as if it's quite well through, and he's got black sitting there ready to push it through if he needs to.
Yeah, I think that. I think that it would be difficult for blue to play that shot legally. we'll get a good idea of that when the referee comes on to adjudicate it. And therefore what Alison has done is that she's taken the black away so that the black can't push the blue through the hoop, which would have been an option for Owen had his black ball still been on the playing side.
So now he's
having said all of that, it does look particularly likely that yellow could get the blue out of there. So let's see what happens.
That's clearly what Owen was checking for.
No, just playing his ball
So
into...
he thinks that this yellow is too far,
Yeah.
it's too centred on the hoop for it to be very easy to hit the bit of the blue that's poking out.
And actually, at the moment, Alison probably wouldn't want to. If she believes that the blue is against the wire, she doesn't really want to move it, does she? She doesn't.
I think the blue has got a running chance. I think if
Okay.
it just goes through at an angle, it
Well,
will
I
go
think you must
through.
be right, because Alison wouldn't be trying to move it if she thought that it was... Oh!
Well,
And she's just now... she's
Given it a
definitely
clear
given it
shot.
a running chance now.
giving
that's,
him a clear shot to go 4-0 up.
Yeah, I think we'll be seeing 4-0 here. That's another thing that we would be interested to talk about with the players.
4-0 up.
And 4-0.
But it's a best of 3, and we're still a long way to go.
And as we've said many, many times, one of the delights of croquet is that you can be a very long way behind and come back. There is no time limit. It's all about hoops. So you can be 6-0 down and you can come back to win 7-6. That does happen quite frequently.
I think in these games, I'm not sure about the finals, but there have been time limits. I don't think they're worrying about time limiting this game. Oh, I think he meant to hit that red. I think he just bruised it and came off it. There's Owen's blue clip.
Well, Alison won't want to finish this game with her puffer jacket complete with all of the yellow clips. She certainly will want to be getting rid of a few of them soon. And at
There's
the moment, she does actually have 2 balls. If she can... Now, the thing is here, Kate, if Alison can make hoop 5 and actually get it maybe in the jaws or run it straight through to hoop 6, then suddenly it's 4-2, which is a very different prospect.
Absolutely. Yes, 4-2 feels so
Yeah.
much better than 4-0. And you can go from there.
Is she going to get this in the jaws, perhaps?
She will want to... Yes, she's done
it's
that.
sort of in the jaws.
It's not actually in. It's
no.
right in front. I think she's got a good chance of hitting it up.
So the key thing is how black can interact with the Alison's clearing yellow ball. So let's have a look at this. Shoots, and the yellow ball is dispatched. And that means, of course, that it's much more difficult for Alison to clear the blue ball.
And is the blue ball close enough to jump?
I think, I mean, Owen is a very, very good jumper, and he would be quite confident of jumping that. It's quite difficult to clear the red, isn't it, Kate? Because the red is so, although it is actually in the jaws, it is very close to being in the jaws, and therefore there is a chance that Owen would push it through if he tried to do something like clearing it. So jumping is probably the option he'll be going for. So crucial that Alison manages to get rid of the blue, and she doesn't do that, scuttling about 20 centimetres to the right and coming to rest near the western side of the court. So this is where we're expecting a jump shot. The referee's expecting a jump shot, getting down to make sure that the ball goes through the hoop.
That's very important, that position. You've got to watch for 2 things. One is lawn damage from the mallet, and the other one is whether the ball goes through the hoop. And if you're not directly behind or in front, but people don't usually go in front of the hoop. If you're not directly behind, you think you can see, but you can't actually tell whether the ball has gone through or not.
No, it's very difficult.
And a lot of people don't realise that. They think, oh, I'm standing off to the side, I'll be able to see.
So
No,
here we
you
go.
can't.
Oh, fantastic shot.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Didn't trouble the red ball at all. And
5-0
made good
up.
progress up the lawn. And we're now at 5-0. So, well, that's a situation that Alison doesn't find herself in very often.
But the red ball is right next to the peg. Blue ball, I mean. The blue ball is tucked next to the
is
peg.
It
I'm
actually
not
next
sure
to
it
the
has
peg?
a
I
shot
think
towards the hoop.
yeah, no, it's got visibility of the hoop. Alison playing quite wide there. I don't know whether she meant to do that. She does like to go on the sides. She likes to tempt the opponent into playing in front of the hoop and then clearing them to a wider position and holding the position in front of the hoop herself. And again, a little bit long on the yellow. She'd have liked to have put that in front, I'm sure. So Alison's touch deserting her a little bit in this game.
Look, see, he has to play sideways.
And he has, you're right, yes. You picked that well. And he had to play away from the side. So I think we might see the black ball attacked here. And attacked it is,
hit it.
and off it goes.
So you're beginning to think, yes, she needs to hit a few of these to get her confidence back.
Well, croquet is all about confidence and flow. If you're in the flow of the game, if you've got a nice cadence going, a nice pace going, it's all very easy. It's at the moment your flow is disrupted, then it's more difficult. So
we have a viewer from Victoria asking who you are, Gareth.
there I am.
And there's your name. From New South Wales. So possibly that's why your voice not quite so recognisable to a Victorian player. And so blue has gone for the hoop and
going for the hoop, but quite a gentle pace actually. He didn't hit that with the normal gusto that you would associate with someone taking on a hoop at this level. You can see Alison's mallet there. She's got the little A for Alison on the side, but a sharp. A musical sharp, or a hashtag, as of course they're more commonly known these days. So a nice little pun from Alison on her mallet head there.
I'm always very struck by that habit Owen has of grounding his mallet. There's no follow through. It's quite.
Well, that's
quite
right.
unusual and distinctive.
It's interesting because coaches often tell players that a good follow-through is essential and they shouldn't stab at the ball. But actually, you'll see a number of players playing with a sort of a stop at the end of many of their golf croquet shots. I think Pete Landry likes to sort of stop the mallet on some of the softer shot that he plays.
But I think he does it. I think he does it on every shot.
Even when he's trying to belt the ball.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll look out for that next time we see Owen do that. So Alison with an inconvenient position with the yellow ball sort of against the wire. It's probably not runnable from there. But wondering what the black would be doing if she left it there. Maybe she'd just come into a hoop running position here. What will she do? Oh, she takes the black out. Yeah.
So she does think she's got a chance.
Or she figures that it's just better to
and he might jump,
have her yellow there. Because, of course, the danger is if Alison puts the yellow ball into the jaws, but Owen has come back and put his black into a jumping position, then that would be an issue. It shows how powerful the jump is, doesn't it, Kate? If you've got a good jump, then you can stop your opponent from fiddling about in the jaws too much. Well, he hasn't really done that. I think
bit
Alison
longer
will
perhaps than he wanted.
just
So she's
solidify
gone in
the jaws. There she goes. That's definitely in the jaws now. And this is what I was saying before, that if Owen had put the black into a jumping position,
Yeah.
of course the black would have played before the yellow on that cycle.
Yeah. So she saw, I guess, that he hadn't done that, so she's more confident just to touch it into the hoop rather than...
There he goes, and that's now put the black into a jumping position. Very, very nice shot. Nice little promotion there of the blue onto the black. Alison will dispatch the black, though, of course. And
she
does.
does.
And that will make her very pleased, because she now has hit a solid 6-meter Croquet, which has been troubling her on about 2 or 3 occasions in this game. And Owen now probably will concede this hoop. I can't see him stopping Alison from making it. Let's see what he does. Yep. He doesn't really concede, does he? He's actually still battling for it. He's instead...
Not really.
Taking... Well...
He's just gone
He's just gone halfway. Yeah, okay.
So Alison is on the board.
Alison gets a
5-1.
5-1.
1-5, as we say, because her score comes first. She scored the hoop. 1-5 to Alison's, but Owen, with only 1 clip left on his jacket, 2 hoops to make to win the game.
Yes, 5-1 is a very difficult score to pull back, and particularly when your opponent has first go at hoop 7 and puts in a brilliant shot like that. I mean, that's just the perfect position, isn't it?
Lovely.
Hoop running, slightly off to the shorter side. Yeah.
Here's Alison, who
She
put her
has
ball
to-
more than halfway but came off opponent ball.
And
She's
manages
moved
to clip it.
but not possibly far enough.
Just taking it over. Now, I wonder if Owen will try and block Alison's, with his black, whether he'll try and block the yellow here or just hit the yellow a long way away. I think that's what he's going to do.
I think he's going to hit yellow a
Yep.
long way away.
Yep.
And,
Yep,
see,
and again,
that was a powerful shot.
and he grounded it. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so
Here's a challenge for...
well, it's a double problem for Alison, because if she misses the blue does have the option of jawsing, and that would give Owen a huge advantage.
Because he
Not
could run right up to the
That's
next
right.
hoop and get
So
the next
big shot
hoop.
from Alison, 20-odd meters, and
Okay.
just missing.
And gone into the
Snake.
snakes, the
And-
pipe, irrigation pipe, I think it is, which is separating
And
the two
here's Owen
courts.
with. Now, will he run this with some force all the way down to the hoop 8, or
No,
will he
I don't
jaws?
think
Do
so.
you think?
But he hasn't run any of them with force so far.
And he goes for the jaws, and he gets the jaws. Pretty much. He's slightly outside. It wasn't.
think
He
he
got
might-
more wire than he would have liked.
Yeah, he rocked to and fro in that hoop.
But Alison's
But he's
red
clear
ball,
of the hoop. You can see he's
Yeah.
not actually touching.
he'll certainly be able to drive that ball down, unless Alison can get rid of him. I don't know whether whether the yellow has a chance of doing that. So Alison nicely in a hoop running position, but can she? That's a great camera angle there. Let's see where. Oh yes, she
She's on
does
the
have
boundary.
visibility. She can get rid of the blue. That's a brilliant camera angle. And
So he can't move the yellow because
No.
it's on the boundary, but he can try to block the yellow.
And he tries actually, I think
he
to
was
get
trying
rid
to
of the
move
red, doesn't he?
Yes, so that it was no longer there threatening. For if yellow succeeds.
So, huge shot.
Yes, we're
This
going
is
to
an
want to see this one
absolute
more than once, I think.
Vital shot. And
and not successful.
Not particularly successful. Unfortunately, she just clipped the left-hand side of the blue, pushed it into the wire, and that now presents Owen with a hoop running shot.
So he may decide not to take.
He may decide not to. He may think, well, I better not, because if I miss, or even get into the jaws, Alison will jump over me. So probably better to get rid of the red, leave my ball in front, and see how the cycle evolves. And that's what he's done.
And he's gone nicely in front again. So that was a great stop shot. So his ball hit squarely onto the ball he was targeting, and his ball barely moved. And Alison has cleanly hit it away, which is what she was trying to do last time and didn't manage.
So,
but not quite squarely.
But you can tell that Alison is starting to get into the groove, can't you? She's swinging more fluidly. The ball is the sort of club head speed, as we like to call it.
Do we?
Is
an analogy drawn from golf, real golf, fairway golf. Club head speed. I haven't actually heard anyone say that in Croquet. Have you? You've heard this often?
Let's call it mallet head speed.
We could say that. Yeah.
So the structure around the hoop has become a little bit disrupted as a result of all that clearing and so on. But now we've got a situation where Owen has come in, very strong position, and Alison trying to clear it, not succeeding. No. It means the black now has a good shot on the yellow, and if Owen gets the angles right, then the yellow will not be there anymore. Now, at a club level, you'd probably find people trying to block this, wouldn't you, Kate? They would. Most club players would be thinking, "Oh, I'll put my black ball in between the yellow and the blue." But at this level, the players are very confident with their clearances, and we've actually had that as a comment from a number of club players. They're quite surprised at how rarely the players at this level are blocking.
And part of that is something we saw before, which is that if there is a block, the player who's blocked can either jump, which we saw Owen do, or use the balls, hit the balls onto each other, and clear all of them. So they move the balls even though there's a block. They've got the angles in their heads. So they use a kind of billiard shot. One ball hits onto another, and that hits a third ball, and the third ball is very successfully cleared, and possibly the second one as well. So.
Okay, so we're slightly overcooking that approach. So we're just 10 minutes or so away from the final of these Australian Championships. Remember Gary Phipps against Robert Fletcher in the final, coming up in about 10 minutes. At the moment, we're looking at the playoff for 5th place between Owen Dickinson and Alison Sharp. Owen in quite a commanding lead here in this first game. Remember, this is a best of 3. And placing his black ball in a running position, a very similar position to the very first shot that was played on this hoop some 5 or more minutes ago. So we've cycled through a number of shots and clearances and lags, and we've ended up with a fairly similar position to where we were before. Alison, so the long shot got a little bit of a bobble there off the lawn, and places her ball right in front of the hoop, but obviously with a big target on it for the black ball. So
and I
it's
think
unlikely that it will be there for much longer.
There's a game we can see in the background on court 3, which is Peter Freer and Richard Parks. and they're playing off for 9th place. That game looks as if it's just started. We will try and get updates on that game as it proceeds. We have a spectator in place to send us progress reports. Thank you, Mawson. So we're looking forward to hearing from Mawson how that game goes along, and we will let you know what's happening with it as time goes on.
Right, so suddenly all the balls are in front of the hoop, and Alison will be clearing, and there it goes. The
She's
black
cleared
ball
red, but yellow is next to play.
No, she's black was.
Oh, black
is next to play.
Red was playing. I'm watching something else and had a mind slip. She was playing red. Black is next to play. She was quite correct. And now red is going to have a go, I suppose, at blue. Black is going to have a go at blue.
Yellow.
At yellow. Black is playing.
You'll get there eventually, Kate.
I will
don't
get
worry.
there eventually.
You did actually choose all options there, so that's.
And he's.
You actually had to go at every single option possible.
Apart from somebody
and you
playing
got there in the
blue.
end, so that's fine.
And he got there in the end. Black. We got it right now. Black has cleared yellow. Blue is in a running position, which would give him very commanding lead to go 6-1 up. All the clips off his jacket. Let's just see whether she can clear this one.
Okay, here it comes. And I don't know whether that got a clip. The depth of field on the shot there is a bit severe.
But we think he's pretty much still in a running position.
And
so if she touched it, it didn't help her very much.
No, not really. And this could well be jawsed. And it's not jaws,
no.
It rolls across the face.
And
he's not happy. He's not happy.
He wouldn't be, because look at the position of red. Red, which is next to play, has a possibility of an in-off.
So Robert and Gary, I believe, are just heading out onto lawn 1 for the warm-up of their final, which starts at 9 o'clock. So remember, we'll be bringing that to you at 9. It's great to know that the players are out there enjoying the sunshine. It should be much more comfortable for both of them, actually, starting at 9 o'clock on one of these traditional Cairnlea mornings, because it's always a bit of a strain to rug up and endure the breeze at before 8 o'clock in the morning. Alison now must get rid of the blue. Sort of doesn't really. I think the blue's still there, and look at the black as well. So Owen's got spoilt for choice here. Spoilt for choice. He could do all sorts of things, and this time he puts the blue into the jaws.
But
now
it's
that's
still sitting on the leg. I
it
wonder if she's not quite sitting on the leg.
Alison gets rid of the black, and then she's going to be. I think she got nuzzled the blue as well.
The blue is not.
Yeah, nice shot.
No longer in a running position.
Excellent. What a great shot by Alison there. Owen was absolutely commanding in front of the hoop, and suddenly both of his balls have been knocked away. So an interesting little bit of collision there, using the ricochets very nicely. Owen comes in a little short, but probably not going to be cleared by the red. I suspect that the yellow ball coming in deep, as Alison likes to do. So this, although we'll be going over to the final in 5 minutes' time, we'll be obviously keeping a keen eye on this match in particular. And as Kate says, we have our spotters around the lawns, keeping us abreast of things like the 9th place playoff between Peter Freer and Richard Parkes.
So Peter Freer has just run the first hoop in their game. I think I'm correct in interpreting. So that's a long way from the position in this one, which is 5-1. But Peter Freer is 1-0 up on his opponent, Richard Parkes. And Richard has a ball in the hoop.
So a lot of strutting around going here. Both players weighing up their options. They've both done a full circle of the balls. Owen's actually going back for another circle, perhaps. No, he's going back to place his black ball deep, and
Not very deep.
not as deep as I thought. So, another interesting tactical situation. We had a situation very similar to this at Hoop 4 in this game. And as we know, Alison loves to clear.
I think they're just hitting off.
So if we now
need to leave it at
prepare
this point.
go to lawn number 1 for the main event of today, which is the final between Gary Phipps and Robert Fletcher. We've very much enjoyed our coverage of the game between Alison and Owen, but now it's time to get on with the main business of the day, which is Robert and Gary. And
so Robert is playing.
They're just warming up at the moment. So what do we know about these players?
I don't think they're just warming up, are they? Oh, they're warming up. Yes, they are warming up.
Unless they're playing
they're
doubles and they're both on the lawn at the same time?
No, they're definitely warming up. So Robert is playing blue and black. Gary is an emerging player in Western Australia. He's been club champion. He's been Western Australian champion. He's been a doubles champion, I think, at national level, or maybe a runner-up. But he's been emerging in the last few years. He's not one of the players who's been around for 40 years.
So, of course, the really interesting thing about Gary is this amazing mallet that he has with the Z-shaped shaft. And a number of croquet players have mallets like this. Maybe if we could have a look at his mallet, that would be... So a lot of players have this if they have a little bit of discomfort in their wrists, or some players who have a bad back will have a mallet with a curved shaft, and this is a great help. And of course, it's one of the great things about croquet is that it's fantastic for physical exercise, but you can actually compensate for a lot of little jointy sort of problems that you might have and still be extremely competitive. And of course, Gary in this position here, we're playing in an Australian Open final. Now, Robert Fletcher, to any croquet player, of course, needs no introduction. He is the world #1 association player. He is also an incredibly accomplished golf croquet player, playing today with a new mallet, or a mallet that we're not used to seeing him play with. It's an all wooden one, and he used to play with a metal mallet, but now playing with this wooden mallet, which is from the UK, I believe, and
so
I'm sure that he's
bucking the trend of metal mallets.
So it's an English Percival. It has a 12-inch head, and one of the interesting things about the face of the mallet is that it is it's not quite square. It's about 42 by 45 millimeters, so a little bit of a rectangle. I'm not quite sure how supple or rigid the shaft is, but it's very interesting, as you say, Kate, to buck the trend. Most people are going for carbon fibre shafts and metal heads
with
and
weights
all
at either
peripheral
end of the
weighting
head.
and things. I'm sure that Robert's mallet is peripherally weighted, but it certainly does look more old school than most of the mallets that we see on show here. So the players still warming up. Gary trying a little jump there. That's a nice one. There's another nice one. Little hop, skip and a jump. And they must be getting very, very close to the start. I think in the game that we were covering before, Alison is actually just about to go through and get a hoop, but it's difficult to say. But anyway, we'll stick with this this coverage here. Well, we'll be hoping for a very good game. This is a best of 5. So the first player to win 3 games will win the entire match.
I'll be interested to see how he uses the Z bend on this mallet.
Well, it sort of just helps. It helps if your wrists, if you suffer from a little bit of arthritis, then it really helps you control the mallet. Have you had a go at one, Kate?
No,
no. Yeah, they're quite effective.
So Robert's hitting off. He's won the toss. He's playing first with blue and black, and blue as usual.
Touch of the cap. We'll see that happening a few times in this game. Robert loves to. Got a very, very precise routine, and off we go.
Stands with his feet very close together. You wonder sometimes whether he's going to hit his ankles with his mallet, but so he's taken position as
a bit long,
like Allison, just to one side.
Yep. He won't be disappointed with that at all, though, because because if he puts his black ball into hoop running position, he'll be able to clear anything that Gary has put in front of the black. So this one is the crucial one. Can he put this ball right plumb in front of the hoop? And a little bit short. A
tiny bit. Runnable, I think. No, I'm just interested in this hand position here. So he is using the Z.
Well, it is interesting, isn't it? Because he's not really using his shoulders with this. It's very much a twist of the hand.
So he's hampered black. Black can hit the ball.
Yeah, black's position was much better than I thought it was from the original camera angle. From there, it looks like it's quite an angle, but when we look at it from this position, you can actually see that black has quite a good run at the hoop. But as you say, Kate, Gary has neutralised some of black's potential by nestling up against it. Robert, I think, will still aim to clear the red ball.
And Robert has a major advantage over many golf croquet players, that he understands what happens when balls are touching.
That's right.
Because he has a background, such a strong, well, he's an amazing player in association croquet, where the relationship of touching balls is absolutely critical.
Yes.
And he's looking to see, are they touching? If they're touching, it's a little bit more tricky to get the ball into the hoop.
Yeah, it is quite remarkable how even some of the very, very top golf croquet players, if they haven't played association croquet, the mysteries of the touching balls are not clear.
That's right, and they don't understand the possibilities, which there's no doubt.
Oh, did he go through the hoop? Did the yellow go through on that clearance?
We'll see.
We'll soon see. I think it did.
I think it did.
And I think it did because Robert is now playing for...
It looks as if Robert's playing to hoop 2.
Hoop 2. There you go.
Yep.
1-0 to Gary. What an amazing shot that was. That's definitely one for the highlights reel.
Though it has left yellow in a horrible position, hasn't it? He forgot that he'd hit the ball through.
So even though it was the red ball that played, it was the yellow ball that scored the point because it went through.
And then the yellow ball plays next after black. So they're keeping their routine. He went to red because it often happens the yellow ball was the one that moved the most visibly. And so you think, it was yellow that played, but of course no. And they've maintained their routine. If they get confused about which ball plays next, then that's quite complicated. And
I think we might say that Robert has 2 runners in front of hoop 2. So suffering a minor setback at the beginning there, but coming back extremely strongly.
And in the match we were watching, Owen well, Alison got that last hoop, and Owen is now 5-2 up, and Peter Freer.
Oh,
Did,
he went for one of those shots where you think, I'll try and clear, I'll try and miss, I might get lucky and make the hoop or jangle back off it, and he nearly accomplished any of those things. So the ball skedaddled through and just missed everything. Just missed the black, just missed the hoop.
It's what happens when you don't decide which of those very desirable things you're actually going to go for.
A long way away.
You missed a lot of them. So here is Robert lining up, trying for the hoop. It's very precise.
Model of concentration and a model of hoop scoring. No problem at all for Robert.
The hoop score has gone to 1-1. Owen has got another hoop, 6-2. He's one more hoop to go, and he will have won his first game.
Pete Landry has sent me a message talking about club head speed. So Kate can have a lesson in the intricacies of mallet head speed and the need to accelerate and have a good velocity of the mallet head as you come through the ball. So hopefully later on today we might get a chance to talk about some of those little technical aspects. But for the moment we are enjoying this intriguing final, 1-1. The red ball has come in, and of course Robert's black ball will be the last to enter the fray. The yellow ball will play afterwards. I don't think it's particularly threatening to score. The red ball of course is threatening to score, and the yellow ball is threatening to get rid of the blue, but it can only get rid of the blue to the short side. And Robert instead just brings the black in, and that of course doesn't stop the yellow from clearing the blue. The red ball still will maintain its position. Let's see what Gary does here. Well, he knocks the blue over to the side as expected, but that is only going to be 7 meters away, and that's not something that will concern Robert. That would be like a shot of a couple of meters to most of the rest of us. But
he never takes it lightly, though.
Let's not put commentators' curse on him, though. Let's instead just watch the very deliberate preparation that he puts in.
So this has got to go quite a long way. We can't yet see where it's going to. Yes, that's good.
That's a much better view. Yeah, that's the view we want. We can see the player, we can see the beautiful Croquet, and look at the cleanliness of that hit. It was, you know, the red ball has gone 14 meters away. An incredible shot. And it means, of course, I'm not sure whether that black is runnable. It sort of is. It's a difficult shot, but it's runnable enough for Gary to think, I probably ought to get rid of it. No, he thinks instead, and he's sort of starting.
He's done a terrible thing to his
Robert
yellow.
Doesn't necessarily need to make this hoop with this shot, Kate, because red and yellow are sort of boxed up together.
They are.
He's not one for jawsing, though, is he? He's one for making hoops with aplomb and skidding the ball down to the next hoop. Let's see what he does here.
Interesting, because in association croquet he likes to be 3 or 4 inches in front of the hoop, very close to the hoop.
No,
no,
bounces off. Well,
Now he's
It's,
got a tricky shot.
It is tricky, but
He could.
he's got away with that a little bit by Robert clanging into the hoops there. I wonder. I think a lot of players would have simply tickled the ball in front. But I suppose as soon as Gary plays the yellow away from the red, it releases the red for a jump shot, doesn't it? So that's perhaps why Robert just thought, I'll take the hoop on rather than trying for jaws. So again, model of concentration. Can we come back
But
a lot more?
This time I don't think he hit.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Well, it's we've reached a nice stage where there's a bit of cat and mouse around hoop 3. Nice evenly poised situation here. Robert playing the black. Would imagine that he has to hit the yellow ball away.
It does look
About
like
7
that.
meters in the shot.
Good to be able to
Always
see both
the same
balls.
routine. And
Yes.
beautiful contact. It's remorseless, isn't it? I mean, it would just be so tiring to play Robert, knowing that your balls are in a beautiful position, but they're going to get beaten away. It would be
But
quite.
he's come straight back,
It's come straight back, same position.
and black is still miles away from him.
Yep. Now, again, Robert probably feeling that the red needs to be dispatched. It's in a scoring position there, and he'll probably be looking to get rid of it. But no, he instead just tickles in. And that's interesting. He clearly didn't believe that red is going to be able to make anything of this. And in fact, red is now going to be able to improve its position by playing a stop shot.
No, it's not improved its position. no.
And blue is
Blue has
shot
gone.
over to the western boundary.
Robert's not chased it. I expect the referee might
The
be
yellow
able to
is
give it a-
certainly a runner, so it should not be left where it is. It's not an easy runner by any means, but of course Robert would know that Gary is perfectly capable of making it. And Gary is in the position a bit like Barry was yesterday against Allison, where as the underdog he's going to be, well, he should have the philosophy that he's going to take every opportunity that's offered to him. There's no benefit to for him waiting, and particularly as Robert is very unlikely to make mistakes.
which he did.
Except when the commentator says that he's very unlikely to make mistakes, in which case it happens. And you don't see that happen very often.
You don't.
You
I did
certainly
hear they did the they didn't do a seeded draw for the knockout this year. They had a player's choice where the players in order of
they choose,
world ranking chose where on the draw they would like to go, and that is a hoop to
That's
Gary,
2-1.
and he goes 2-1 up, and there were players who were saying, well, they would like to choose to meet Robert early so that they would be sure to have a game with him.
Ah, right.
They were
Yep.
well,
that's
the honour of being able to say you have played Robert Fletcher.
that
was
says a
really
lot about Robert,
significant.
and that says a lot about Croquet, that the players relish the chance of testing themselves against the world #1 croquet player.
He's an exceptional player.
And that just shows how the attitude of the players in this game, this sport, it's great to see. Robert bringing the blue ball in earlier, but not to a very threatening position, and
Gary has just dribbled
slightly
past,
beyond
but
the hoop.
he is wide to blue, so he will stay there in a clearing position.
Well, it does allow blue to creep up on him a little bit, though, doesn't it? Because
Yes,
blue
there is
can
that.
actually now advance in that line.
Though it's not as we said, a very good line.
And
Oh,
the black comes in. Oh,
not hidden from
not
the
got
red.
quite hidden, but smoothing it towards the hoop. Oh, nearly making it. Nearly blocking blue. I'm not sure whether Robert will take the hoop here.
No, I don't think so.
The black is certainly in a much better position, but of course the red can clear the black. So I think he's shaping up to take the hoop. Gosh,
If he
there's not many
lodges
club
in-
players that would try this, is there?
No.
I mean,
And if he
I mean
lodges in the hoop,
the number of club players that would contemplate taking this hoop on is quite small.
no,
That
he was trying
Robert
to get. He was
hits the
trying
leg
to
of
get
the
the
hoop and
He
spits
was
out.
trying to get the hoop.
And
he
now
failed.
Gary with a good clearance here of the black. If he can keep the red in position, he's suddenly controlling the hoop a little. So, and he does.
But he doesn't stay in position.
He doesn't stay in position, but he has got the black a long way away. The yellow can't make the hoop. Do you think it can get in the jaws, Kate? Do you think the yellow can? The blue, of course, is off to the right of it, which means that the yellow can't put itself in front of the hoop because it would be knocked away.
I think it
Great
would be
view
difficult.
there of Robert's shot.
So it's a very long shot, it's right
It
down
is.
near the.
He only needs to put it in a scoring position, though, doesn't he? Oh, he's actually firing. He must think that there's more of a threat
And
from
he's
that yellow than
missed.
we thought.
And he missed. So
So very interesting. That to me looks like not a makeable hoop for yellow, but I suppose if he's looking at the jaws. But then why wouldn't Robert leave it short? And
Alison's got another hoop. She's gone to 6-5.
in the game against Owen,
Yeah.
having been 5-1 down.
Yep.
Amazing. One might also say, almost say that Alison is playing better away from the cameras. That might have been predicted
Maybe
by
that
one of
was
my
wh-
correspondents. So, very interesting that Robert didn't play the black to a jumping position.
No,
knowing
he's
that
played the black to a clearing position. He's now on the boundary where he can't be hit away.
okay. So he's okay. Yeah,
He's put
I see.
blue
So
at an angle where it won't
I
be hit by
see.
yellow as it
I see.
powers out of the hoop being hit by
Right.
black. If this happens, we don't know.
I see.
Um,
Lovely
so
clearance. So yes, you're right, Kate. So now Robert,
must
now
hit
being
yellow.
on this side, has to hit the yellow. Yeah. So when he played that strong shot down from the northern boundary, he was
He was
getting two bites at the cherry,
Yes,
really, either
yes.
clearing the yellow or being in a position where he could clear from the jaws. Nice observation. And there we
he's
go.
done it.
And that's why he's the world number one, and I'm in the commentary booth.
That was a great shot.
That was a very, very good shot.
And that little ploy coming down,
Yeah.
we think probably going for yellow.
Yeah.
But he
Oh,
had
yes,
a
he hit it.
fallback.
He-
That's why he hit it so hard.
Well, he hit it. He hit it with,
so
at a
firmly
pace
so
where,
that it would go right down to the boundary. So
or go through. Never know. He might have gone through the hoop as well. So
maybe, I'm not sure. Anyway, we should ask him. Okay, Owen has won that game 7-5. So he won on hoop 12 after being 5-1 up against Alison. He has beaten her 7-5 on hoop 12. So a very good comeback by Alison. And in the other game that we're following, where Peter Freer is playing Richard Parks for the 9th place, Peter is now 5-2 up in the first game, another best of 3.
okay, and that
So-
blue ball is clearly in a running position, but you would imagine the red will have something to say about that.
You wonder whether red is going to clear blue. Yep.
So
He won't go for black because black's would take it too far off course.
And off it goes. So this is a great tussle. We're seeing this is a really intriguing game. Lots of positional play, lots of clearances, some great tactics. And bye yellow, I think.
It does look like that.
And
Yes.
off it goes. So we now have a blank canvas in front of the hoop.
So blue has the straightest run.
All of the balls about 10 metres from the hoop, and they'll all be coming in. This is like playing hoop 1 again. And that's a great shot. Just beautifully in front of the hoop. And saying, that's my running ball. Robert saying, well, I can put a running ball in as well. There's my running ball. Now will we get to a situation where the yellow is cleared before it has a chance at doing that.
And
so it's
I
all going
think
to be
blue was behind yellow, and so red has gone. Red couldn't see blue. Red has gone into, I think, a running position so that yellow can clear blue if it's not put out of contention by black.
This is the crucial one. This is the one that has to get rid of the yellow. So, see there, the nice shot. Nice. We can see the player. We can see the balls.
See the hoop.
We can see everything. That's what, and off it goes.
And we nearly got rid of red as well.
It's much better.
That was very nice. Now he's charging across. He could see the line of the ball. He's going to mark the position where it went out, so that that's exactly where it did go out, which in this case is very important. He's brought it in just a tad. He shouldn't have brought it in as much as that. Should be right on the edge of the line. But it's very important because it makes a difference as to whether yellow can see blue or is blocked by red.
Yeah,
from blue.
it's
and it was blocked by red.
Yeah,
from
that's
blue.
surprising, Kate. I think that given the shot is so critical there, and it's not like there's any damage to the lawn. It seems strange that Gary brought the ball in that far.
Yeah. It may be that it's in that bit with the sand.
Yeah. Well, certainly.
There was a stretch on the boundary somewhere.
Okay, it's for
on
2
one
all.
of these courts which has sand. No. Here's Robert for the hoop.
And
he's run it nicely.
2-2.
So that brings him to 2 all. And the ball that he hit away has gone as is legal. Didn't he hit yellow away? Oh no, yellow hit itself away. That's what happened. He hit the wrong ball. That's what happened. Do you remember that? He was coming from the boundary and he hit his own ball. So that was not protected from being called offside because it reached its position because it was hit by partner ball.
So Gary has first shot with the red ball and puts it in a probably quite a nice position there. I would say that would be a ball that he could at least get into the jaws, and Robert hasn't threatened that. The yellow ball gets a little bit of a bobble and makes its way deeper and in front of hoop 5. So Robert checking out what the possibilities for the red are, just sort of saying, can he make the hoop, can he jaws, what will I do, will I have to clear that? Touches the cap twice, must be really concentrating. And now goes through the rest of his routine. Thinking very deeply about this one. And choosing to just play quite softly up into a position in front of the hoop. Perhaps it's blocked the yellow. I don't think so. Gary now, well, I think a lot of players would go for the jaws now, wouldn't they, Kate?
But there's a possibility of a jump here from both black and blue, I think.
Looks like a...
No, he's not going for he has got into the jaws.
He's got
Whether
into
going
the
for
jaws.
the jaws, I'm not sure.
So, Robert's blue is in a jumping position. The ball looks against the wire, maybe. I'm not sure. So if Robert can get the yellow out of the vicinity, he is in a position where he could jump with the blue. But I'm not sure whether he's got visibility of the yellow. Have a good think about it. Bit of a puff, bit of a wry smile.
Peter's won that first game against Richard Parks, so he's now one game up. He won quite.
So
I'm
looks
interested
like
in
he's
this. This is.
oh, look at that!
That was neat.
Unbelievable.
That was very neat.
Oh, not only did he hit it, but he caught the back of it so that it actually propelled it a bit further. Now, is he going to promote here or get rid of the blue? He's going to get rid of the blue. Blue won't be able to jump, but Robert will be able to, if he can, hit the red out of the hoop now. This is an incredibly difficult shot. So we're talking about 12 meters or so. Robert has to somehow get through the hoop to hit the red ball. That's the view he's got. That's a great view. And that's an even better view. So spoilt for choice on the views here. This is a fantastic perspective here. We know that it's about 12 meters away. He has to get through the hoop and hit the red. It was always looking like it had gone slightly to the left. But as it got closer and closer,
and
you thought, oh, maybe there's a chance.
It just missed. It was a matter of less than a centimetre.
Big advantage for Gary now, because he can not just make this hoop to make it 3-2, he can get close to hoop number 6, and that is what he has done. Oh, he's just gone a bit further.
3-2
he
up.
hasn't
Yes, he's
quite
gone a little bit
achieved
too far.
the golden result, which would be to put the red ball plumb in front of hoop number 6. So that does now mean that this hoop will be contested, and Robert perhaps putting the black ball up and to the other side, hiding from the red. Oh, look at that.
And it's
look
blocked.
At that.
Blocked yellow.
Incredible.
From the hoop.
Absolutely incredible. From that distance, picking out the blade of grass. And nice shot from Gary. Nice clearance. And that opens the door for the red now can come in front of the hoop, depending on where Robert puts the blue. Presumably where he just put the black, I guess.
Not quite as far.
Not quite. But it does mean that the red ball can't now come out and put its head above the parapet. Although, what do I know? Because it's just done that. But that surely will be cleared by Robert's blue. So if he brings his black into a hoop running position, Gary would be faced with a quite long shot from yellow onto blue.
I think black's going to go for red.
You think so?
Yep.
I certainly the way Robert's stalking the ball would imply that, but I would have thought he was going to come in and put a runner in.
Well, you might be right there. That is what he's done.
Well, there we go. There's the runner. So Gary has to dispatch the blue. This is a no. He doesn't dispatch it. He's actually just playing up close to it,
and
in a sort of blocking sort of shot. I think
he actually improved, from his point of view, the relationship between blue and red, because red is now very definitely between blue and the hoop, and before it could just wiggle past.
Yeah, but I think Robert was always going to clear this, wasn't he?
I think so, and he's got black there. Why would he do anything else?
Oh, Robert. Well, he didn't get the half ball that he needed to completely take red away, and he's actually put it in front, and I think this is going to be 4-2.
Yes?
No.
Oh, no.
Jams. Just as Kate was reaching for the number 4 on the scoreboard, we're now faced with a Robert jump shot.
We think so.
Well, what an amazing passage of play.
I wonder if it is actually jammed. They're very tight, these hoops.
Well, and if it is jammed, then they're entitled
To a
to
replay.
get the
They can
referee
have
to come on and
They
offer
can
them a
call the
replay, aren't they?
referee
That's
and have the hoop checked and
Yeah.
have a replay.
so Robert's jump shot. Oh,
and
too
he
high.
Failed the jump shot.
Certainly got a lot of air. He got enough air. And now this, I think, we'll be seeing yellow onto red, because yellow might even skedaddle over to hoop 7, having put the red through.
Yes.
Yes, look at that.
Both of those things.
What a result.
That
what
was
a
a
result.
very good result for Gary.
What a fantastic result. The hoop 4-2 and the yellow ball over by hoop 7, not offside. Well, Robert failed to clear the red from hoop 6 and left. Okay, not worried, clearly thinking that he'll be able to clear the yellow with his black.
Or that yellow's not quite a runner.
Yellow is most certainly a runner. And
But red looked as if it was trying to promote yellow.
I think he was, yes. I think red was.
I don't think yellow can go into the hoop. I don't know.
Well, you might be right, because
he's
Robert
not
isn't
trying to clear it.
worried about it. Yeah. Oh, I mean, if Gary wants to win this game, surely he's going to attack here. No, he's going to just play the blue away and gets a nice little billiard-style ricochet. So that's interesting. That'll be a good one to talk about. There was no doubt in any of the players' minds there. So they know what they're doing. So I think we defer to their strategic knowledge rather than the mere drones in the commentary box. But that was we saw Barry yesterday go for hoop shots like that, and it was very, very successful at pushing of Allison. But on this occasion, Gary thinking, I can win this hoop by going through the rotations. And the first part of that is to try and get rid of the blue, but unfortunately he's done the opposite of what he intended, which is to send his ball a long way away and to leave Robert's ball in the vicinity of the hoop.
A bit as Robert did on hoop 6, where he sent his ball down to the boundary and the opponent ball just in front of the hoop. Yeah. Okay, so I think that's a block.
That's a block.
And he's striding along. He's going to try the jump.
This is now a jump, so removing the clip, which is always the tell for the big jump. So this will be fun.
And we're having, I think Robert is watching the jump. I don't think he's called a referee. Robert is poised there behind. Oh no, here's the referee come across, taking an interest.
Okay. And no.
He didn't get the hoop, but he
has
got
dislodged.
the clip in the pocket. Come on.
He's dislodged the black.
He's not put the clip back on the hoop.
Now.
So he's got it in his hand, I think.
Robert tickling the ball to within
to his preferred distance,
40 or so centimetres from the hoop. And Gary, you remember his red ball went a very long way over to the eastern side, the right-hand side of, as we're looking at things. And so he's now faced with a 22-metre shot, which he's not really making too much effort to blast, but instead to try and just dislodge. Surprising, because I think the yellow ball...
Why did he play red? Wasn't it black that just played?
No. Black plays now.
Oh, that's right. Black plays now. Because blue went in front of the hoop. I was
now, interestingly, Robert really fancies himself on this hoop. He fancies himself so much that he is playing halfway. He's actually saying, I really do not believe that you can even see my blue ball. Never mind hit it from the 30 or so metres that you have to now hit it. So let's see what Gary thinks. Does Gary think he can hit it? Or does he think?
No, Gary thinks he's going to go halfway.
Oh, he dislodges Robert. Oh, and he nearly hits the black onto the blue. Amazing. Incredible stuff.
That was very
That would
good.
have been sensational, wouldn't it, if the black had hit that? But
Robert's going to try and do, I think, what you are always talking about. Do you go on the long hoops? You go well through right up to the next hoop. Will he do that?
Yep, that's the shot. That's the shot.
And it hasn't gone.
The hoop took a little bit more energy than he would have liked, but he has actually made some progress down the lawn. And it's
we'll change
3-4.
his score. So he is now 3-4. Still, Gary is still in the lead.
And Gary plays a nice shot down, lagging in front of the hoop. A little bit longer than to put perfect pressure on. And Robert follows him down. Slightly onto the short side. And
the short side meaning the boundary.
Yeah, between the hoop
not
and
short on the hoop, but short on the short boundary,
right.
so that if he's hit away, he can't be hit very far.
Now, one of the things that we haven't seen in this over the last 2 days, Kate, is are people making fluky long hoops. Often when people are playing down these long hoops, they're sort of aiming to get in front of the hoop, but they actually have the good fortune of just popping through, and we haven't seen that
I do believe
happen.
on the very first game of the doubles,
Oh, right.
Lester, playing against his partner, as it turns out. Lester was playing in the first game. He was playing yellow. He went in front of hoop 1. He ran hoop 1 and hoop 2 in the same shot.
Go. Yep.
Then everyone crowded across to hoop 3. Lester still playing yellow, last across to hoop 3, so last to have a go at hoop 3. He ran hoop 3 and hoop 4.
Oh, amazing. Actually did it twice. It's like two consecutive holes in one in golf. Beautiful clearing shot there. What a great shot by Gary there.
Yeah, that would be good too.
That was a smashing clearing shot.
Yeah.
Robert's black ball pretty threatening in front of hoop 8.
And he'd cleared.
And Gary clearing nicely and you know, ending up himself on that we're calling the short side, on the side where future clearances will actually dispatch your opponent to the longer side.
Oh, no, that's nice. So he does have to clear that with red, I think, because I don't believe yellow can
Yeah,
see
yellow
it.
looks as if it can't see the black there, doesn't it? Maybe coming through the hoop the wrong way round. Oh, so Gary in the jaws, but having played from the non-playing side, means that he has to come all the way through the hoop to continue that trajectory in order to be eligible to make it. And that's something that Robert might be able to exploit.
Alison has started off her second game. She lost the first game, as we remember.
Okay, I'm not sure that
I don't
Robert
think he
will be
wanted to
awfully
do
keen
that.
with that one. He's ended up...
He's lurking. He's waiting for yellow to come through.
Right. Okay, that's good.
I think I recognise this.
But
I
he
think
could
I
have-
recognise that he's put it there because yellow can't do very much. Yellow can only come through. If it comes through within a reasonable distance, blue is placed to hit
Yeah,
it away.
It is, yeah.
And that's the reason for being there. It's not in a place where it's useful to red to
But
hit
I think
it.
a lot of viewers might think, well, why wouldn't you put the blue a little bit further? Why wouldn't you put the blue sort of almost where the black was, or a little bit further up? Okay, so you're
That's why
Gary
yellow
having
has
to go
come
quite
through a
long, and
decent
now you think
distance.
that blue will come
Now I think
in front of the hoop.
Yes. Having regard to where red is, I can't see red at the moment.
Well, red is over to the right. You can see red
So I
now.
don't know whether he's going to lurk a bit more, do you think? On the other side of the hoop from red.
Okay, so absolutely plumb running position, but now the red will probably have something to say about that. We'll clear it. Oh, and he
Okay,
gets a nice
passes
clearance on the black as well. So a double clearance from Gary. And suddenly there's nothing in front of the hoop anymore.
Red's still in a good
There is
position.
a red in a very good clearing position.
Mm.
And that black has basically got a target on it for the red now.
Mm. But it's blocking
So,
yellow, do you think?
well,
Well,
yellow decided to clear it. There was, of course, the option of putting yellow in as a runner and then...
yeah, you would have thought that would
Yeah.
have been more obvious.
But blue to play.
We're in just going around the grounds, following up. He's going to no, he's not promoting. Ali has gone 3-2 up in her second game, so maybe got her mojo back. And Peter and Richard are 1-1 in their second game, Peter having won the first one.
Okay. So
this is a clearance.
blue
you'd
ball
say.
with a big target on its back.
And red's gone nowhere near the
red,
hoop.
red,
They both run
not
away.
quite getting the angle that he wanted there. Of course, the aim, as Kate has said a few times, is that you want your striker ball to end up near the hoop still, and your opponent to be dispatched a long way away. And unfortunately for Gary, he managed to get, although he got a good contact on the blue to send it away, he also sent his red away as well. So it's very crucial now to think about where the red ball is, because that will play before the black, and I think it's down on the south boundary here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think where Gary's white hat is at the bottom of the screen. But if he doesn't clear the black, then of course Robert will have a really nice shot at the hoop.
Ah, so he's blocked the yellow shot at the hoop.
The yellow doesn't, but this is the crucial one that must make contact with the black with the red ball. Shoots, miss it. Oh
No, he called it.
It's calling the miss. It looked like a miss, and it just clipped the right hand edge of the red and beautifully took it away. But I think Robert can clip the yellow over.
I don't know that he
here.
wants to. I think yellow is blocked by blue.
Yeah, but if he can get rid of the yellow, then blue makes the hoop.
I think he's going to, well, he may be. Maybe that this is what he's looking like doing.
Or so if he's
But he'll probably
accurate
move
enough
blue
to,
at the same time.
I mean, for a player of Robert's standard, being able to hit the left-hand side of the yellow and send it towards the far corner, and thereby leave the blue in front of the hoop, would seem to be a good sort of like that.
Blue.
But he did move the blue.
Yeah.
Nice camera angle. Well, we've had 43 minutes of this game. It's 3-4. And a great tussle in progress. Really deep ball. Really deep. That's an incredibly deep ball. I think there'd be a lot of club players who'd be asking, why has Gary put the yellow ball some 7 yards away from the hoop? That's a fascinating shot choice, which would be quite challenging to a lot of club level players. And
That was a miss. That may be a very important miss.
Yep.
That one.
it now means it does.
Did you
it
see
does,
the,
of course,
the referee marking where the ball
Yeah.
went out there?
the yellow
Thank
will
you, referee.
play before the blue has a chance to make the hoop if it has visibility of it, and Robert's trying to block that opportunity at the moment.
I
but
don't think he
it doesn't.
succeeded.
And now we see the worth of what
But
Gary
black has got a view
was
of the
doing,
hoop.
because he now has a chance to clear the blue, which he doesn't do. But the strategy there, Gary putting that deeper ball in and being on that short side, meant that when Robert put his blue ball in front of the hoop, was in a position where it could be cleared. So
So
Gary's
Robert
tactics
just waiting
started to
for a minute while for Barry to stand still. So he was moving around, putting his balls on the line. And Robert moved back. Now he's taking the shot. He's
And
run the
we're
hoop. He's
4-all.
equalised. So they are now 4-all.
So a nice little masterclass there of tactics from Gary. Just unfortunately for him, it didn't come off, but it was a very, very interesting strategy, and I think a lot of club players will find that extremely illuminating. That's gone a little bit too far, a little bit close. Could do with being another 30 centimetres to the left or another 30 centimetres down towards the bottom of the screen. Robert going over to have a look. Can he make the hoop? Can he jaws it? He's probably thinking he can't from there, but it is always difficult to tell from our position.
And difficult to tell from Robert's position, which is why you see him walking over and actually eyeballing it, going to check it out, because when you look at it from where Robert's standing, it might look quite different, or it would look quite different from what you see when you go and actually check it out. So you do see that. Okay, so
Robert's come short, not in a running position, but certainly in a position that won't improve Red's position once it's cleared.
Yes, too far over to be helpful to Red. If Red hits it away, Red will be out of position. So yellow has to be in position, and yellow is in position.
It is.
Very
it's
nice.
A very nice shot. Really getting the pace of the lawn beautifully there, Gary.
So what we think is happening is Gary is setting it up, so he will clear black a long way, and then yellow is in a running position.
Yeah. Now, if Robert clears the red, then that
can't
won't be
send
an
red
option.
very far, can
It's
he?
a very long way away. It's about 18 metres
Do you
away.
think you go for red or yellow?
Yeah, either of them really. They're both threatening in their own way, aren't they?
Mm.
And he goes for neither. He instead blocks.
My goodness!
Blocks there.
Oh, can we save that one? That's an amazing shot.
The club players will be salivating over that. They like their
that?
blocking, and they're normally blocking from a couple of metres away, but Robert's there blocked from some 18 metres away.
Amazing. And of course now we know that Gary can jump, and it's not close enough to stop him jumping it. If it were very close,
That's true.
he wouldn't be able to jump it, but it is far enough away, I think, that he could.
Yep. No, Gary can jump that. Robert's having a good look at it, thinking, should I dislodge? Do I need to dislodge the yellow? Do I need to stop it from jumping? Do I let him have the jump? Because it's a difficult jump. It's quite a distance away. Do I let him? Do I tempt him into taking the jump? I mean, it's an interesting series of options for any player with a croquet shot. You see the magnificent Cairnlea clubhouse there. What an amazing structure that is. Very, very lucky to have this brilliant facility. So, Robert's shaping for clearance here, I think, Kate. The way that he's standing and deporting himself.
And
off it
full
goes.
And he's done it.
Oh my goodness. Absolutely no doubt at all, was there? 20 plus metres, and the yellow ball hit almost in the middle of it. Didn't even just clip it. Actually knocked it with enough force to push it